So I just gotta say some of these things right quick. So it looks like Christianity has been logically disproven in every direction, honestly, and that it keeps itself alive, much like a rapper keeps themselves relevant by personal controversy. They're always irritating and always trying to get your attention and piss you off so that when you start talking about them, you either talk about them as if they're greater than they actually are, or they can say, well, if we're so wrong, how come you're always fucking hating on us? We're just living our lives over here, man. And another thing, I noticed this like weird, like, so imagine you're put in a nightmare, right? And like Christianity's like haunted me for a while because like I got molested and apparently I never really dealt with that or some shit. And so imagine like you're in a nightmare, right? And in most dreams, they're always sort of unrealistic and you can kind of like realize, oh, I'm dreaming, right? So like, you know, there are times where like the sun exploded, right? The sun exploded and I was still alive. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is a dream. And I just stopped caring. And everyone was like freaking out. And I was like, all right, whatever, bro. And I just kept being like chill, right? And there were other times where like other crazy things just happen, right? But just think about this nightmare. This nightmare stays physically realistic. It stays physically realistic. Meaning that crazy and obvious things are always happening. But instead of it being like, all of a sudden I'm in a new environment and I don't know how I got there, or all of a sudden I'm floating or I'm flying, or all of a sudden this thing just appeared out of nowhere, crazy event happens. It keeps a realistic pace of physical change while also being obviously surreal and uncanny and too unrealistic to be existent. But because you cannot describe what that physical pace is, you can't really catch it. And so you're like in this nightmare that, although physically realistic, is acting out things that are logically, obviously uncanny for a real existence. I tried to say that the right way a second time. Like that right there. All I wanted to do was say it the right way, and I didn't. It's obviously too uncanny to be real. But because it is still happening within a pace of physical realism, it's almost impossible to call out. That stuff right there, man. That stuff right there. So I officially like comprehended nightmare, at least. Man, if I wake up and I'm like a little kid right now, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be mad. But I doubt that's gonna happen. I mean, I figured out too many good things for this not to become exactly what I want it to be, so I'm not leaving this. And then there's just like ape comprehension. Like that's all y'all are. Y'all are just apes, but y'all are like smarter apes. And instead of it just being like you beat all the other males and could have all the women, it's like you beat all the life around you, and you turned life into what you wanted. But you're still just an ape. You're just a smarter ape. And like, yeah, if I was high right now, I could see that well enough that I'd be like, no, that makes a little bit of sense. I'm kind of scared of that shit because I didn't know I was doing that. But now that I think about it, I doubt fucking apes know that they're doing that. So fuck, that scares me, bro. But then I'm like, hold on. There are things that still make sense regardless of what all that means. Life still has to be infinite in order to occur. And that solves almost every problem. Like, logically speaking, that solves every problem. Even if the people around you are still physically acting on illogical things, logically speaking, life being infinite solves all the problems and would prevent that from being what's actually going on. Now, the only way that we're all apes is if everyone is still illogical and therefore not sustaining existence because they cannot logically sustain it and make it like make sense. Like their actions don't indicate what life had to have been in order to occur in the first place, right? That's when we all become apes. That's when the most logical person is the one who's got control over everything because they're the closest to real life. And real life is obviously the structure where everybody can get along and work together, right? So even then, even if that's what's going on, only reason I would win that is because I'm obviously the most logical, which would mean that me being logical would also mean that somebody else winning that would mean that they were just the most logical, so whatever they're doing would also be beneficial to me. It's a win-win no matter what. Although every nightmare I comprehended here. Now this one with the Christians is so fucking annoying, bro. But it's at this point, there's a lot of avoidance of argument. There's a lot of avoidance of what makes sense. It's just like a lot of people that don't have anywhere else to go. And it's like, well, fuck you. I mean, that's obviously what you guys did to me. You made me feel like that. You guys all work together to make me feel how you feel. Like you have nowhere else to go. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Like it's unfair, but it still kind of makes sense. But you couldn't get that part. You couldn't get it make sense. But I get that's what you were going for. I mean, at this point, I guess it's just like a manifestation of how I felt about Christianity over time. Yeah, that's obviously what this is. Too many things are lining up. Too many things are happening. And then I got a fucking, like, ad for the Truman Show, which is, like, somebody, like, made the Truman Show on Minecraft. And that's, like, one of the things that always happens at these points is that I'm always, like, kind of steered towards thinking, oh, my God, is this the Truman Show? Is everyone watching me? But, like, if I say that and I can't prove it, I'm crazy, right? So I don't ever go down that route. But I should probably try thinking about all the ways that it could be real, just in case, just to get out of it, even if it's just, like, a theoretical thing. I mean, obviously there are unrealistic and uncanny events taking place here, but they're occurring within a physical pace. So it looks like they kind of make sense, or at least enough sense that it's hard to call out or point out, like, what's the difference? Like, what would real life be? Like, how can you say this isn't real? This is what happened. What's real life then? And I figured out. I said what real life is, and it's kind of all falling apart. So yeah, I keep being told not to repeat myself. But you guys keep fucking dismissing and forgetting things. It's not, you're not forgetting because I'm repeating myself. You're forgetting because it's your goal to keep going the direction that gets you what you want right now instead of the logical direction. So I have to kind of re-say certain things to keep you back on track. Because remember those times where you know that I was right about something, but you can't remember exactly what I said. So now you don't know how to abide by it anymore. That's what I repeat for. Fucking idiot. It was clever though, trying to make it seem like me repeating was a bad thing. I'm not talking about shitty hip-hop songs, nigga. So fuck you. But anyway, yeah, I think I caught everything. And all the stuff I haven't caught, it's probably been caught in a secondary sense by all the other arguments that I've made. So even if I haven't specifically said this other stuff, I've still said things that have already pretty much captured the entire concept, just without the intricate level. But there's probably too much stuff going on anyway for me to say everything right now. But yeah, I think I got everything. So whatever happens next, it has to be good. I mean, there's no way it isn't. There's no way it isn't. There's absolutely no way that it's not good things. And I still have like a fear that if too many good things happen for me, my brain's gonna be all like, oh, what the fuck? What is this? But I'm also ready to start accepting that. Like, I think I just need to start going through that now. And you guys probably find it cute. Like, it won't look like this, but like, you know what I mean? So it'll be good. It'll be all whatever. So let's go. Let's do it.